Hello and welcome back to another video here on Forza Horizon 4 to test out another new car, so the second Horizon promo prize car, which you get for getting to tier 11, which is the Porsche 911 C2 Gunther Werks. So I'll be testing it out in a second. We did already test out the Portofino, so if you haven't seen that video, it went up a week or so ago, so if you want to check that out, should already be up. But yeah, this is the car that I'm probably more interested in of the two. In the Portofino, it's a Ferrari, I guess, but it's not the most exciting one. Anyway, we now have the Porsche Gunther Werks, so let's go and find it. Basically, it's a modified 996 generation, I think it's 996 generation, Porsche 911 that's done up by these people, so it's kind of resto mod type thing, although it is only a 95 car, it's not the oldest thing, but yeah, kind of a modified version of it. So 431 horsepower, 427 newton meters. I was kind of comparing it to this 911 GT2 just below it, because they're the same generation. So it has slightly more power, just under 10 more horsepower than the GT2, but is slightly lower on torque with 427 newton meters instead of 540. It is also a little bit lighter, with a little bit larger displacement. But anyway, we'll jump straight into this thing, see what it's like, completely stock, and then head back to a house to see what upgrades and customization is available, if anything, because it's already quite a heavily customized Porsche, I guess. Not sure what I think of the spoiler with the weird, like, blue cross on it. But yeah, very nice looking car. Not entirely sure if I like those wheels either, but it's kind of quite a wide body version. I don't know if it's actually wider than the GT2 or just the same wider track rather than narrower track. Basically, 911s seem to come in two tracks. One's like the standard cars, and then all the GT cars and turbos are slightly wider. So yeah, not the fastest thing in the world. It is S1, and I have to be honest, it doesn't feel like it's S1. It feels more like it's A, I would say, from driving it. But we've got nice carbon fibre, the nice red stitching on the window there, so it's kind of trimmed more like you'd expect a new car to be, but in a slightly older model. Obviously, if you want a nice newly trimmed car like you would get from a factory 911, but still with the slightly further back engine, because in the newer generations they've moved it into front of the rear wheels, so they're now sort of mid-engined rather than fully rear-engined. So this will be your more classic handling Porsche, but obviously with some upgrades, a bit more power, slightly nicer trimmed as if it's new. But yeah, it's very nice in here. Very nice cabin. Oh, it sounds good from there. Hang on, what angle is that? And it is actually, if you look closely there at the bonnet, all carbon fibre, including the edge panels there, which I hadn't realised. Entirely carbon fibre built thing. Right, anyway, I'm enjoying driving this and the sound of it a bit too much. Let's jump back to our house, which is all the way up here. We've gone a lot further than I thought we had. I was just enjoying driving that too much. But anyway, let's jump back here and have a quick look at what upgrades and customization is available. Maybe change the colour or something. Yeah, the only thing I don't like is that blue bit on the rear wing. We might find we can get rid of that, who knows. Anyway, and I do realise it's a little while since this car was available, because obviously it was available back when, well, before I tested out the Portofino, because obviously I took a while to get that as well. So I'm aware it's been out a while and a lot of people have tested it, but I still wanted to save it for the video and see what it's like. But yeah, let's start with these bits. Ooh, we get a blue splitter option that's not Forza Aero, yes. What do we get here? Oh, okay, so then that gets rid of that blue bit that I didn't like, but it has a massive wing. I do kind of like how you can see the engine through there as well. I think I'm going to go with the wing, though. Oh, and we get one with a little lip, which is the first time I'm ever going to use Forza Aero here in Forza Horizon 4, probably. And then what have we got here? We've got a 3.8 flat 6 and a 3.2 flat 6 turbocharged. From, I couldn't tell you exactly which Porsche they're out of, but they're from some newer 911s, I'd imagine. We've got an all-wheel drive option, which I won't do. We've also got twin turbos, which might be interesting, but I want to keep it relatively stock. No, I'll leave that alone. I do like the carbon fibre bodywork, that is very nice. I think we'll go with the tyre text. Bring the width of the tyres up a bit and make them poke out a bit more. There we go. That's looking a bit better. I think we need to lower it a little bit. There is quite a gap between the arches and the wheels there. We'll, as always, do all the transmission-y bits. Make it change gear nice and quickly. And then go with some brakes. Oh no, they're not blue anymore. Right. Okay, the only suspension option is drift. We've already got racer stock, so it'll be interesting to see if we can actually tune that. As always, I'll do these bits, probably not the roll cage, though that'll ruin it. Leave the weight reduction alone, leave the power alone. Kind of your basic sort of build. This is what I end up doing with every car, pretty much. Doing quite a small amount of upgrades, but trying to keep it close to the original car. The sort of thing you could imagine doing to one of these in real life. Anyway, let's head over to Designs and Paints. I will flip through the manufacturer colours. They've got red, which really doesn't work very well with that blue. I quite like just the bit of carbon. Is that still carbon? No, I don't think it is. I think you lose the carbon if you go with these, so I might go back to that. Although I do like this. But then you lose that blue bit of splitter. I am quickly going to see what the advanced paint options are. So if we paint group 1, what do we actually paint? Alright, that's the main body. Don't worry, I'm not leaving it this colour. Group 2 is the mirrors and the little bit on the back of the wing, but not the splitter, because that makes sense. Right, hang on. Even the mirrors have two groups. Oh, that's the arms and the actual mirrors themselves. So does the wing, but the splitter doesn't. Weird. Anyway, I'm going to leave that on for now. I don't know why I'm saving it. I haven't changed anything. Just leave it with the stock carbon fibre. I do quite like that. I will have a quick look at the storefront and see what weird and wonderful things the community's come up with. But yeah, likely just to keep the plain carbon fibre on it. What have we got here? Oh, I like that. I like that. Especially as it's got a nice number 13 on it there. That is very tempting, but I think I'll probably leave it. I still like what we've got. That I like. I've seen this green one before. I've seen that livery on other people's cars. That is quite nice. RWB one. I think I'm probably going to end up leaving it though. I really like that carbon with the little blue lip on the front. So we're ending up with a car that looks the same, and in terms of upgrades is pretty much the same. Let's see, it'll basically just grip a bit more in the corners, so I put some tyres and things on. Yeah, I don't actually know whether I'll use this for anything, for racing and stuff, or just as a nice street car. Probably just keep it as a nice road sort of street car, just for cruising about in on Forza, rather than building it into anything, which is often what I end up doing with these cars that are added. That view though, with the carbon fibre, is the best sound for some reason, even though it's clearly rear-engined. It's louder at the front. Does that make sense? But yeah, it's the best view of the carbon, the best sounding angle as well. Which is weird, I never use this camera for anything. But it is good in this. It is good in this. But anyway, that probably is going to do it for the first look at the Gunther Werks Porsche. Porsche 911 Carrera 2 by Gunther Werks. There we go, that's its full name. So yeah, that probably will do it for a look at this, which means we're taking a look at both of the new Horizon Promo cars. So if you haven't seen the video on the Ferrari, that went up a little while ago. But I will be back here to test some more new cars soon. Obviously we tested out the Supra in last week's festival playlist, and coming up at the end of this week we'll be testing out the Mercedes AMG E63, which is the new car for winter, and the following week we'll be back to test out the Formula Drift 599, so watch out for both of those. But otherwise that is going to be all for this video, taking a first look at this new car. So thank you very much for watching, I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll be back with the next video very soon.